Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Thursday, May 20th, 2021. It is the first day of what the Jesuits are calling the Ignatian Year. Again, on this day, 500 years ago, Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, was injured in battle, and he was a soldier no more, or he became a different kind of soldier, a spiritual soldier. But that was supposedly 500 years ago today. And remember, this Ignatian year lasts more than a year. It goes from May 20th of this year until July 31st of 2022, which is the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola died, July 31st. But their Ignatian year, longer than a year. And recall what we talked about a year ago today, May 20th, 2020, the death of the leader of the Jesuits, the Superior General Adolfo Nicolas, dead May 20th, 2020, by the numbers. And I suppose if you forgot that story, Adolfo Nicolas, we can revisit it one more time, because I want to talk about one of the bigger stories in international news today, and that's a famous Japanese man is dead. And, of course, Adolfo Nicolas died last year in Japan. So, again, Adolfo Nicolas died a year ago today at age 84, Superior General 84, Jesuit 84, the Jesuit Order 84, the Catholic Church 84. Remember Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, born on the 84 date numerology, December 17th, 1936. He is 84 years old right now. He was 83 at the time of Adolfo Nicolas's death, which meant he was in his 84th year of life. But there were a lot of things here, but the big one was that Adolfo Nicolas's name, just like Jesuit Order 54 and 72, and the day he died was the day leaving 225 days left in the year, also corresponding with his name Gematria. And again, he died in Japan. So this year, on the first day of the Ignatian year, we get the death of this well-known Japanese man in the headlines. But the thing is, he didn't die today. The news is, every news source is reporting this for today, that this Japanese artist, known for this Berserk series, which is very popular, the news today is that he's dead at 54. But do you know what day he died? He died on May 6th. And what first caught my eye about this story is when I got on this morning, this wasn't the first story I decoded, but when I first logged onto the CNN webpage, they had the 56 minutes on the ticker, and then I decoded a couple stories, and then I came back and I looked at CNN's front page again, and I'm refreshing the page, and it was still on 56 minutes. So I was like, 54, 56. Okay, they're keeping those numbers up there. Let me see if there's a 56 too. So sure enough, I look more into it, and the man died on May 6th, 5-6. And not only that, but look at his name, Gematria. Kentaro Miura, 5679, just like Society of Jesus. And of course, 54 is Jesuit Order. They're the same thing, the Society of Jesus, the Jesuit Order. And again, they saved this news for the 1-year anniversary of the death of Adolfo Nicolas in Japan. And, if you read about Ignatius of Loyola, they kind of describe him as being like a hot-headed, angry, tough psychopath. Berserk, the word kind of fits in with just the concept of, or the idea of how Ignatius of Loyola is remembered. And then that word berserk alone, even the word berserk equals 78, like Jesuit. And again, that's why you need your ciphers forwards and backwards. It's the same small group of number rituals again and again. They're having the Ignatian year in 2021, right? Jesuits 21. On the first day of this Ignatian year, you got the guy with the 78 series dead. Jesuit, of course, is also 42, just like Japan. Japan's 42. So there's a few more things I should pencil in my notes. Of course, Japan's flag is the sun, like the logo of the Jesuits is the sun. Sun's got the Gematria 54, like his age of death. And yeah, I'm sure if I knew more about this comic book series, there's a whole lot more here. But that's just what jumps out to me right away. On the first day of the Ignatian year, they saved this news for 2 weeks after his death. And yeah, again, Adolfo Nicolas, 1 year ago today in Japan. Also in the news today, the NOAA predicts 6th consecutive above-average hurricane season. And what's today? It's May 20th, right? How do we write that in the U.S.? 5/2 so 5-2, the numbers that always show up with the hurricane rituals. Hurricane 52, Flood 52, Earth 52, Enlil 52, 652. And remember last year, about every hurricane landed on a 52-date numerology. There was one that didn't, and it formed on a 52-date numerology. And we've already seen the flooding stories this year on the 52 dates. There's already been a number of them. And with regards to the 6th consecutive above-average season, remember when you write out 6 as a word, it also equals 52. So hurricane, flood, earth, Enlil 6, they're all 52. Of course, Enlil's the Babylonian god of flooding, storms. But the average for named storms in a year is 14. The average for hurricanes in a year is 7. The average for major hurricanes in a year is 3. That's since 1991 to the present. And they're saying this year we could have as many as 20 named storms, which would be 6 more than the average. As many as 10 hurricanes, which would be 3 more than the average. And as many as 5 major hurricanes, which would be 2 more than the average. So we'll see. But I do suspect, again, because it's Agenda 21, Green New Deal, all the things we've been talking about, I suspect, they'll be very busy with their military and weather warfare and really pounding home the message that Mother Nature's out of control and we need to do something drastic, Need to give up all of our rights and liberties and completely change our way of life, and they're ready to do it right now. It's Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. This is the decade of big change. Again, the World Economic Forum told us last spring that we'll own nothing and be happy by 2030. And all of that is good and well, because I don't think owning material items really gives true happiness. If you study, consumerism, most people get a big jolt of endorphins when they buy something new, but then it only lasts for a little bit, and then that's why they got to go out the next weekend and buy something new, and oftentimes they feel bad a few days later. They have buyer's remorse, or maybe they think they spent too much, or maybe they didn't need another one of these. But anyway, owning things is not happiness. It's about, being healthy. It's about having friends and community and, people to socialize with. These are the things that are true value and true currency for people. And a lot of you guys don't get that because of the questions and comments you leave. A lot of you guys, your minds are ruled by the exact thing the rulers want you to be ruled over by, and that's money. Because so many guys just always leave the comment, well, then why don't you just do this and just make a bunch of money? That's the way you guys think. If you guys don't listen to me, you're new here. I've explained how many times that money doesn't make you happy. I had a good job out of college. I made over 6 figures right out of college, more than any of my friends made. And I quit that job for a $10 an hour job to work at a group home because I realized that gave me more happiness. And everyone thought I was insane to go from, making, thousands of dollars a week to making $400 a week. But I felt happier. And I realized money was not happiness. It does take money to accomplish things in this world, but money is not happiness. Real wealth is, again, being healthy and being happy with life. And there's a lot of rich people that are the most miserable people on the planet. But anyway, back to this. Again, just another... Last year when they put out this, it was on the 52 date as well. They didn't do it on 5/20, but they did it on a date with 52 numerology. But again, it's just the 5-2 thing. It's just so obvious. It's just so obvious. And for any dummy who'd come through and say, oh, come on, you're stretching it. You're just a dummy. Sorry, no, I'm not stretching anything. You're just a moron. Showing the same things about how they put out these predictions each year and then they land on the 52 date. It'll be the same thing all year. Just watch. Just watch. It already has been. So, same old, same old. And with regards to the 52 thing and, familiar places getting targeted, and here's a story from earlier this year. Steph Curry was shooting lights out, and that's exactly what happened. And if you haven't seen the clip, I guess we can just play it real quick. Don't give me a commercial, please. All right, watch this real quick. Here we go. All right, here we come. Curry's got the ball. Lights go dark. He shoots it up. Supposedly it goes through. And... But I don't think they counted the points for that. But the score was 77-71 when that happened, playing in New Orleans. And remember the Super Bowl 47, the Harbaugh Bowl blackouts, the 33-minute blackout, and then the 49ers came charging back against the Ravens, but then they couldn't quite win it. Frank Gore, who was just running for 10 yards to carry all half, they didn't want to run him down at the goal line. They decided to roll in the same rollout play with Kaepernick like 3 or 4 times in a row and throw the ball through the back of the end zone in the stupid-ass NFL that it is. But remember, that was New Orleans where that blackout ritual happened. This game's in New Orleans. Remember, it was a Bay Area team before. It was the 49ers in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Now it's the Warriors, who recently moved to San Francisco, in New Orleans again. So what's going on here? But look at this. Look at this. That game on May 4th was on Steph Curry's 52nd day of his age, right? And power outage is 52. We talked about the pattern with 52 and power outages and TV shows a lot earlier this year around Valentine's Day when we were going back and looking at the show Revolution and all of that. Remember the show Revolution about the power outage as the 52 in it as well? But the other thing about this is it happened on May 4th, right? That day can be written 5-4 or 4-5, and it happened in New Orleans, which is 45 and 54. So either way, you got your date covered. And, again, I have a feeling, sadly, that for the people in New Orleans, this is predictive programming of something that's probably coming to their city this year. Again, we saw the major blackouts on Valentine's that we saw coming in advance because of everything that was forecast. The darkest winter, the Great Reset, all of that. And again, New Orleans seems like another city to likely be targeted again. We know they love to pick on poor black people just as they did in Houston with the Valentine's Day thing. New Orleans is not too far away. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what this is about. Hold on, my mom's calling in real quick. Let me take it just in case. Are you calling in to be part of the live stream?
Well, I'm just wanting to let you know that they're doing a demonstration on the high wire of a lot of people who've gotten the vaccine, and the magnets are sticking.
Really?
Yeah, and they showed the one gal, where you probably saw the video, which she does it quick, and then
right.
But no, there's a lot of different ones, and they're.
So they literally got people who are vaccinated and just tried the magnet test with where they got their shot?
Yeah, and they're definitely staying.
Huh, that's weird.
There's a ton of them.
That's weird.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate the heads up.
All right,
love you. Bye. My mom's watching Dell Big Trees, The High Wire. I'm sure you guys have seen the viral TikTok video about the woman who got the shot, and then she shows how the kitchen magnet sticks to her arm, but not on her other arm. The video is kind of suspect, though, because she spends a lot of time on the arm where she got the shot, and then on the other side, she just puts it there real quick, and it falls off, and that's the end of the video. But I guess they're testing it out today on the High Wire, and people are having magnets stick to their arm where they got the shot, so... I know that in the ingredients, there are trace metals in the vaccines. I don't know if that's enough. I guess maybe that's enough to make a magnet stick, but yeah, just one more thing to think about there. You guys know what I think about the vaccine. I'm definitely not getting it. Anyway, this looks like a big old Jesuit ritual. And don't forget, Jesuit orders 54, IHS is 45, rituals 45, but... Again, they couldn't have scripted any better. And realize, you guys, they script the same games night after night. And it's just like yesterday. We were big on the Lakers yesterday, going in as the 7 seed in the year of sevens. But look how scripted they have it is. Remember, LeBron and Curry were born in the exact same hospital in Akron, Ohio, in the same hospital where Nate Thurman was born, who played for the Warriors and Cavs. Of course, LeBron played the majority of his years with the Cavs. But yesterday's game was 66 days after Curry's birthday, right? We're always talking about 66 with LeBron and the Lakers. The third chapter of my first book it talks a lot about LeBron and 66 before he was on the Lakers. But again, 66 days after Curry's birthday. If you saw the game last night, the game went through Curry's hands. He couldn't take the inbound pass. It just went through his hands, so no even chance to shoot to tie the game. But Lakers and LeBron, 66 like LeBron James, and 66 days after Curry's birthday. And then there was something about the other play-in game being yesterday involving Memphis, who won, because they always have these two play each other on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And, of course, MLK was killed in Memphis at age 39, and yesterday Memphis got its 39th win, and the Warriors stayed on 39 wins. And, by the way, the big star for Memphis now is the young player Ja Morant in his second season. And yesterday's game was 83 days from his birthday. Memphis is 83. Memphis Grizzlies is 83. His full name, Demetrius Jamel Morant, with his nickname in there, is also 83. And That's the 23rd prime. He didn't score yesterday until a really deep three that was the 23rd points, and then he didn't score again until the 56th points of the game, 33 points later, and his full name also equals 263, the 56th prime. But then by the end of the game, his other teammate who showed up had a 23-23 performance, 83 days from his birthday, the 23rd prime. You know what I mean? It's just the same stuff night after night. And yesterday, New York had a no-hitter, right? What am I always teaching about with New York? What's this thing I always say about New York? New York in 39, right? Guess how many days after the pitcher's birthday it was for the Yankees yesterday? Corey Kluber, who came over from the Indians with an April 10th birthday, throws the 6th no-hitter of the season 39 days after his birthday for the New York Yankees, right? And then it was a perfect day for a New York Yankees no-hitter because it had 65 date numerology. But anyway, we'll come back to all that. I'm just reminding you, it's so scripted every day from news to sports. Understand, there's people there's little babies right now, little children coming up in this world right now that their path's already been chosen. They're going to be raised to be athletes. They're going to be raised to be politicians. They're going to be raised to be news anchors. It's like there's a class system in the world. There's a class of people that rule and get to be the big celebrities and big stars, and then there's the rest of us who are meant to live what we'd call in the U.S. the American dream, watching these people, aspiring to be these people, going to school and our teachers who aren't smart enough to see through the game telling us things. You're going to be that someday. You're going to make it there someday. The teacher thinks the student's going to make it there because the student's bright and intelligent and great, but the teacher's filling their head full of BS because the teacher doesn't understand it's a rigged game. They're believing in the system. They're believing in the lies. They're teaching the young people the lies. Again, we're not like Steph Curry. Steph Curry, remember, his whole life is a script. Every single day you can just go through the script of Steph Curry on the court, off the court. This is how scripted the rituals are, to turn the lights out. And again, New Orleans, they've already done this with sports. Remember, it was a 33-minute blackout at the Super Bowl? Look at how old Steph Curry is right now, 33. Hold on, my mom's got a encore performance. What's going on, Mom?
I'm just going to say, watching Dell's show go out and test people on the street, so far 3 stick and 9 don't. So I would come to the conclusion maybe the 9 that haven't so far, maybe they're placebos. And maybe when they get the real shot.
Well, maybe it's a different there's 3 different vaccines. Maybe one of the vaccines is making that happen.
So they're up to 4 now sticking and 9 not sticking.
Okay. Well, are they specifying who got what vaccine?
Well, yeah, but I haven't kept track.
Okay, well that's the critical information. I'll go back and watch. I'll go back and check it out later and see what they're showing.
Okay.
All right, love you. Bye. Okay. My mom called me earlier before I got on. She was all excited because she was watching Dell Bigtree, and somebody in the chat was spamming that everyone should go check out my work at GematriaEffectNews. And she watches his shows every Thursday, but she'd never seen anybody spamming my work in there. So if that person happens to be watching our show right now, thank you for helping get the word out. I do appreciate that. My mom did see that earlier, but okay. What else is going on? Somebody called in about this last night. I just want to make sure everybody saw this. We talked about the dark side hackers and how, what a major ritual this is with the colonial pipeline and how it's clearly Jesuit Catholic. And then the dark side supposedly on May 14th or 14/5 said they were shutting down. And again, just look at the gematria of dark side and Catholic. Overlap in 3 out of the 4, plus that 145. Of course, on 14/5, they shut down after their supposed $4.4 million ransom payment. I mean, again, you guys, the frustration of people not wanting to acknowledge this work is that it means that they're just okay with being lied to and steered astray and misled, and which also ultimately means that they're okay with, being overtaxed and wars being needlessly created and us having to live in a needless state of fear all the time. Essentially, they don't care about anything. And it's just so obvious. It's so obvious who runs the show day after day and how they do it. And, what bothers me the most is, there's a lot of them don't even exist because so many people got sick of being censored and just quit altogether. But even before the censorship ramped up, I mean, you could just get almost no one in this truth community to share any of this work, even though it was the only, again, what else in this truth community are people putting out that's evidence-based? I hear a lot of opinions, and, the whole truth community ends up on the same things. Bill Gates, Jeffrey Epstein, which are just two stooges. And again, but they don't really have anything that's deep or points to who's really responsible and how they operate. And again, we can't find really anyone with a platform to help us get the word out. That includes the Del Bigtrees and Robert Kennedys of the world, who could. They could definitely help get out the word. Okay, so we got more headlines like this today. Body camera shows black man being tased, kicked, and dragged by Louisiana troopers. I'm scared. AP obtains video of deadly arrest of black man. Body cam video shows Louisiana troopers stunned, hit, and dragged black man. Okay, so it's like, does the dude have a name? Here, let me see if I can find a name for this guy. So it turns out he does. His name is Ronald Greene. And, you got to wonder where this video's been all this time. This is from May of 2019. And do you know what day that the AP broke the news? On May 19th. Of the video from May of 2019. And remember how big 19 is? Things like Floyd equal 19, Park 19. Remember he's killed by the Park police one day after the news of Amy Cooper in Central Park choking her dog. That was the big story on Memorial Day. And then supposedly George Floyd was killed that day, but we didn't learn about it until the next day with the video on May 26th. Okay, but the news broke May 19th, right? From a video in May of 2019. They're saying this is out of Monroe, Louisiana, which equals 181, the 42nd prime, so they got their 42 in there. Monroe, Louisiana is also 89, which is the 11th Fibonacci number. Black is 11. It's also the 24th prime number, the reflection of 42. The news broke on the 139th day of the year. That's the 34th prime. Of course, black also equals 34. America's 139. Freemasonry 139. And the name Ronald Greene just has super fateful gematria. 118 like death and homicide. 64 like kill, like law enforcement. 206 and 62 like sacrifice. And the killing was reportedly May 10th, 2019. I mean, how wouldn't this story have come up at any point in the... I mean, now, to save it for the 19th? Again, that's what's so frustrating. It's like, can't you see that all the news they give us is a ritual by the numbers? It's just so obvious. May of 2019 news on May 19th this year? By the way, this news broke yesterday, too, on the 19th, that 19 states have vaccinated more than half of their adults against COVID-19, right? Oh, man. But also, from the day of the supposed, beating that led to the death of this black man, Ronald Greene, to the day that the news broke is 741 days, which is known as the Lucifer number. But 741 is also the 38th triangular number. And remember, death, murder, killing, and RIP also equal 38. And maybe while I'm at it, I should add Louisiana and Minnesota, since this happened in Louisiana, and I will add that. And that reminds me of, 5 or 6 years ago, we had the Philando Castile and Alton Sterling killings in the same day in the news. And remember, both of those stories were two black men being captured, being killed by police on live video. It's like, wait a minute, we haven't really gotten any stories like this before. Now, two on the same day from two of the states that equal 38. Remember, there's 5 states in the U.S. that in the most pure cipher equal 38. And let me see if I can get them all off the top of my head. Florida, Louisiana, Minnesota, Colorado, which is also the 38th state in order of statehood, and Oregon. Those are the 5 38 states. And after the George Floyd thing, they did something with all of those states last year. They got all those states involved in similar stories in the days after George Floyd in Minnesota. But again, just more of the same type of news to rile up people. And again, just by the same repetitive patterns, paying tribute to the same numbers, the numbers of death, numbers of race. Also, if you missed the end of TFR last night, Jonathan called in and he just wanted to point out that there's another rap, story in the news. Jonathan's always following the hip-hop news, and this time they're connecting it back to the Capitol insurrection. And remember, the Capitol insurrection, as they call it, was January 6th, 16, like 16. This rapper's name is Bugsy the Dawn, which equals 136 and 53. Remember, 136 is the 16th triangular number. 53 is the 16th prime. We just talked about this with Liz Cheney, whose name's 136 and 53. How there were the headlines about how it only took her 16 minutes to be knocked out of power for criticizing Trump. But he's up on federal charges for supposedly using photos of the insurrection in his album artwork. But then I looked into it a little bit more, and I guess on video, this rapper was also captured at the Capitol insurrection. But still, again, just more stuff. Again, this will just generate more album sales, more recognition, getting articles in mainstream publications. Who's ever heard of Bugsy the Dawn before this? But again, it's not hard to see why Bugsy the Dawn was at the Capitol. Again, it's just like, it just reminds you that the Jesuit network, some people are super famous in it, and then there's other people that are part of the network that are like, I never heard of this guy before, but we'll see if his name grows, his reputation. They did put out this news story on the 138th day of the year about the federal charges. Federal's 138, as is Donald Trump. Of course, he was the source of the insurrection. Yesterday, Drudge had up a headline, and the main headline was Mideast Truce Friday, ? So let's see if this does happen. Let's see. They were making it seem like the peace deal or the truce might be reached yesterday, May 19th, which would have been an interesting date because that's the 139th day of the year. America's 139, Jerusalem's 139, Gaza's 19. But they're saying there's a lot of, today in the news, which is the 20th, there's being a lot of pressure being put on Israel from the international community to stop attacking Gaza. And if it does happen tomorrow, if the peace happens tomorrow on the 21st, if I'm not mistaken, peace is 21 in the most pure cipher. Yeah, peace is 21. And remember, the thing did begin on May 10th, right? That's the day that they began firing the rockets and the bombs and the missiles at each other. But peace got the 21, also the 105, like it began May 10th. And then, of course, war is 21, agenda's 21. Not agenda 21 I'm thinking of. Army is 21, Jesuits 21. So do we get the peace, the truce, tomorrow? And by the way, what's truce? Truce is one more, 22nd. But that could be the headline. Drudge, the way they worded it though, Mideast Truce Friday. Notice it's got the 201-84, just like the Jesuit orders 201 and 84. And again, the attack began May 10th, 201 days after Netanyahu's birthday. So, we will see. Friday is not that far right now. Here, what time? Let me see how many hours ahead they are. I'm on the West Coast. It's noon, May 20th out here. What time is it in Jerusalem? It's late in the evening right now. 10:18 p.m. So they're just 2 hours away. They're 10 hours ahead of us out here on the West Coast. But in 2 hours, it will technically be Friday. And maybe even by later today, May 20th U.S. time, we might see if this Drudge headline delivers. That has some rhyme and reason to it. And again, in case you didn't see the top headline from yesterday, May 19th, which we are keeping an eye on because, again, the 139th day of the year. But the top headline was 11 children killed in Gaza from the Israeli strikes. And these children were being treated for trauma. So, but again, just 11, the master number on the 19th. And there's also something interesting about 11 in child when you write it out. You see the gematria overlap? The exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And the one cipher where they differ, it's 3-6 and 6-3. So that was yesterday. And then again, yesterday, CNN put out this story last night about how 19 states, at least half the adults are vaccinated for COVID-19 on May 19th. I mean, it's just... And then Corey Kluber with the 6th no-hitter of this MLB season. The 5th was thrown the day before. And again, New York Yankees 65 date numerology. The Yankees get it. The New York Post emphasized the word special, right? Special 65 and 29. This happened on a date with 65 and 29 numerology. The Yankees get the 6th no-hitter of the season. Remember, there's only normally 1 to 2 no-hitters per season. 21 is the 6th triangular, I suppose. I'm surprised they didn't save it for the 21st. I guess it was meant for the Yankees. But Yankees in 6th, again with the overlap. No-hitter in the most simple cipher is 109, which is the 29th prime number. But no-hitter, again, has the 46, 107, 44 in the base ciphers. Seattle has now been twice no-hit this season, and so have the Rangers. And both these teams have the 107-44 connection, just like no-hitter in the same ciphers. Yankees also has the 109 connection. And again, Corey Kluber, from his April 10th birthday to the New York no-hitter, 39 days later, where we're always teaching about New York and 39 rituals. Kluber, his surname's also got the 39. And notice Corey Kluber's also got the 54, 162 in it, as well as 63, a great name for baseball because baseball's 54 and 162, and Major League Baseball's 162 and 63. And normally, I guess, remember, there is something interesting about reduction gematria, the reduction ciphers. There is a rule for the 19th letter. The 19th letter forward is S. 19. So the 19th letter is the only letter that has to be reduced 2 times in numerology, because 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10, and 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. That's how S becomes worth 1 in reduction. But there is that rule where if you do a single reduction, S is 10, and in that case, Rangers does have the 46 connection like no-hitter as well. So again, the no-hitter ritual is almost always 46, and again, the 46 is there. And in every no-hitter this season, the 5 before it and this one, the 46 is present. That's the only one where you have to use the numerology rule with S 19 10 1 to reveal the 46, but it is still there. But and I mean plus, how many more no-hitter numbers do you have? So again, the ritual, plain as day. And again, LeBron last night with the super deep 3 to make the. Not only did they go in as the 7th seed in the Euro 7s, but they got their 43rd win of the season, reminding of Brady at age 43 winning his 7th Super Bowl. And again, they're always just doing the parallels from all the sports, following the same number rituals. But again, 66 days from Curry's birthday. Game goes through his hands at the end. Lakers 66, LeBron 66, LeBron James 66. Curry was out guarding LeBron on the deep 3 too. Why was Curry on LeBron? I know they were born in the same hospital and all, but man, LeBron got a lot of height on Curry. And again, just Ja Morant, first points of the game yesterday, 23rd points. Put a big grin on my face because I knew before the game it was 83 days from his birthday. And I know Ja Morant's name because he went from zero to hero in college, and then he was one of the top picks in the NBA. But now it's official, man. This is a guy who they're scripting things around just like they do all the other superstars. So if you knock out that Ja, the nickname part of his name, it's 81, and then his next game will be 81 days from his upcoming birthday, and that'll be the second game of the new play-in series. So that'll be against the Warriors. But yeah, just again, just at the end, man. All night ESPN just kept up a new picture of Ja Morant. It was obvious the whole game was scripted around him. That's what they do. Just like David Stern said back in 1984, the NBA is not a game, or how do you say it? The NBA is not about basketball, it's about stars. And then, Jordan, it became more about the player than the team. But yeah, I think that's all for right now, Truth Seeker. And again, if you want to check out what my mom's talking about, what she's calling about, the High Wire, let's see, Google censoring his website. This is it right here, thehighwire.com. They were recently on YouTube, but they got banned all the way off, so he went and launched his own website. And I think I'm going to have to get new people to do all my website stuff because, again, they charge too much. They're way too slow. And right now they're telling me that they don't think that they can make the live stream thing happen. It'll just be too expensive on my own website. And that is not what I want to hear because I said, But that's what they've done on his own website. They set up their own video broadcasting and live streaming. I can host video on my website, but I cannot live stream through it. So I guess this is the live chat for the show. So somebody was in this chat sending a shout out to GematriaEffectNews. Appreciate that. But Dale Bigtree, he does do a good job on vaccine awareness. And again, you know, why people like that can't have a voice, why people like myself can't have a voice on big tech, it really is a shame. Because, again, they're accusing us of being the liars and putting out the misinformation, but I know I don't do that. And from what I've seen of Dale Bigtree, you know, I remember what happened to me about a month and a half ago. I showed a clip of his show of him playing a clip of Anthony Fauci telling a blatant lie, and then the way he showed it was a blatant lie was by just putting up right from Johnson & Johnson's websites the ingredients in their vaccine. Anthony Fauci said specifically to the camera that there is no fetal material in Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. Del Bigtree says, that's a big lie, because look, here's Johnson & Johnson's vaccine ingredients, and there it is right there, right in the ingredients. My video was taken down for that. That was around the same time Del Bigtree was booted off YouTube. But he'd already been booted off just before that, but it was around the same time. That might have been 2 months ago now, but again, to be taken down for misinformation, for putting out facts. So realize what big tech says is misinformation is actually the truth. They protect the lies of the tyrants, and then they call the truth seekers the liars, which is evil. So anyway, I think we'll leave it there for now. Here, let me just check the latest headlines in case we got something big breaking on this Thursday. The good Catholic Nancy Pelosi front and center. Her birthday is March 26th. Let me think about it. That means today's her 56th day of her age. Today's 55 days after her birthday, or her 56th day of her age, so no wonder she's front and center, Nancy Pelosi. She's born on March 26th, like 263, like 26/3, the 56 prime. Nancy Pelosi's 56, like Washington, D.C. Here, let's just make sure I got it right. Nancy Pelosi birthday. Nancy Pelosi, March 26, 1940, 81 years old. They say the good die young and she's living old. But here we go. March 26th. Let's plug it in. 2021 to today. Span. Today is her 56th day of her age. You see how I did that? Boom. And again, her name. Nancy Pelosi, 56. Also the 52, like government, like authority. And then Washington, D.C., of course, 56. Okay, here are the 63 Republicans who voted against the anti-Asian hate crimes bill. Racism is 63, so they're saying that those are 63 racist Republicans, right? We always talk about racism in 63 in the most simple cipher. And what else? One dead in incident involving suspected smuggling boat near San Diego. It is the 20th. I don't know, there's probably more to that story. Sanders will introduce resolution disapproving $735 million U.S. arms sale to Israel. So they got Bernie, who's Jewish, going against the big arms sale to the Jewish nation. Bernie's birthday is my mom's birthday, September 8th. Let's see. That's the day leaving, it's the 251st day of the year. Leaving 114 remaining. Today is the 140th day of the year. Washington's 140 as well. So I suppose it's 254 days after Bernie's birthday. Oh, he's 79 right now. Interesting. 255th day of his age. I don't know about, I'd have to think more about that one. He was born in Brooklyn. He went to college in Chicago. Okay, I see Nancy, though. His family says they were told he died in a car wreck. Video now shows Ronald Greene was kicked, dragged, and tased by police. Okay, so big cover-up. I think they would have found that story sooner. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now. I got to hop on for the Patreon crowd here in a moment. And I'll probably do a short video on Gematria Effect Sports, giving them their latest sports. But I'm not even posting that much on that channel right now just because it has a strike. And I'm just trying to get that channel out of the woods before I post much on there. I know they're looking for another reason to take down that channel. It's the only big channel I have left. But, Lego unveils first LGBTQ set. Huh. I always thought Legos were, like, gender neutral. Oh, I was thinking they were going to have, like, you know, some big titties and a cock on the new Legos, but maybe not. I don't know how transgender Legos work, but talk about a story for the times. So, I don't know. Those don't look... Those, I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, we'll leave it there, you guys. News by the numbers all day, every day. And see some of you on Patreon here in just a moment. So enjoy the rest of your day. Somebody said take some calls. I'll be taking calls on Patreon here in a moment. So you guys want to call me? I'll see you on Patreon.